Welcome to Yoga for Inner Strength, presented by Crescent Pelvic Health and Wellness. Throughout this practice, use a pelvic floor breath that supports lengthening on the inhale through the body and gathering and drawing up and into the body on the exhale. In mountain pose, finding your stance with knees stacked over ankles, hips stacked over knees, shoulders stacked over hips, and arms comfortably out to the side in a front-facing and open stance. Breathing with the inhale drawing down into the body and the exhale gathering up and into the body to send the air out. As you breathe, breathe in and out through the nose, inhaling to reach the arms overhead, exhaling to draw the elbows down to the side of the body, inhaling, reaching wide out to the space to the side, and then touching fingertips together, exhaling, arms reaching forward with a slight chin tuck. Continuing with your breath, inhaling and exhaling, and inhaling to open and lengthen, and exhaling to draw into the body. As we breathe, just notice how the breath comes into the body and how it leaves, without any expectation for how it should be, but more just noticing what it is like. As you inhale, think about creating space around the body from the inside out. And as you exhale, think about drawing back into your space. And returning to mountain pose, draw the hands and arms, elbows up to about shoulder width height, and stacking the inhale 2 times for a twist, and then exhale, release. So that the inhale is quick, in, exhale. And the exhale is a little bit more forceful out through the mouth with a ha sound. Lower the hands, mountain pose, and then step to the front space or short edge of the mat. We're going to practice a flying or opening heart warrior 1, simply stepping back with one foot to a short stance lunge so that the back foot does touch the mat entirely, with a slight outward turn of the foot and knee tracking over the foot. As you step back, inhale, and as you step forward, exhale. Opening the heart, raising the arms to find energy from within, and then exhaling and returning to your sense of grounding. Repeat as many times as you like. Transitioning through mountain pose again, we'll step back with one foot to the sides, opening out into a wide stance. Toes are turning out and knees will track over the toes. And the inhale again reaches and opens the body, and the exhale supports the movement up, down, and up through a sun squat flow. Noticing again that as we exhale, we're gathering up and into the body from the pelvic floor, from our core center, to help send the breath back out through the nose. And then holding in sun squat for a little extra power and confidence and strength building. Continuing to breathe, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Returning to a mountain pose, and then we'll transition to a balancing tree, comfortably resting the lifted foot somewhere onto the standing leg. Reaching the palms and hands out in front of you, opening the palms so that the thumbs down through the base or heel of the hand to the pinky fingers still touch, but the space inside of the hands is open like a lotus flower. A lotus mudra, and soft gaze upon the hands and the space inside. Switching sides and finding strength from the foot base all the way up to the hips. Relaxing the shoulders and allowing the breath to flow in and out through the nose. From here, we'll come back to mountain pose briefly and then transition to the floor, finding an all fours stance. On our inhale, moving through a back bend, and on the exhale, rounding and drawing into the body into a back rounding position. Spinal extension with the inhale, and back flexion, spinal flexion with the exhale. And just noticing how the movement and the breath match up together. Again, no expectation for what it should be, just feel and notice what it is like. Let the body breathe. After a few rounds, beginning just to feel some openness along the spine and along the front of the body. And then from here, we'll transition through child's pose to help lower the body down to the ground in a prone or face down position. We'll draw the hands alongside the body, palms facing towards the floor, placing heels somewhat close to each other or touching. Lift the body on an exhale and hold in a locust pose, strengthening through the gluteals, lifting through the back and opening from the heart center. Feet, knees, and tops of the thighs off of the mat while the front of the body lifts, but perhaps the lower portion of the ribcage remains contacting to the ground, as well as through the belly. Continuing to breathe and noticing the difference here in the breath. Turning over to our backs for a supine, face up, lying down position. We'll draw the legs long on the mat and then bring the knees in towards the chest, giving ourselves a little hug around the front of the low legs, a side-to-side rock. While we're here, continuing to breathe and allowing the tailbone to stay in contact with the mat. So rather than it being a hug into the body completely, we let the back, the pelvis, and the tailbone remain on the ground. Lowering the legs once again to the mat and just set the body down, allowing the hands to come to the side, the arms to relax in an open stance, and the feet to gently splay out to either side, finding your position of comfort. If laying down on your back, face up, is not comfortable, finding a position to rest that is best for you and allows the body to breathe. Letting the body express its own natural rhythm in its breath. Gently find a sense of being and allowing the breath to fill the space inside the body. Resting here for as long as you would like to let the body settle.